What's up, everybody? I'm Flash. This is One Man's Opinion, the show where we cover just about everything. You wanted it, you got it. Presidential epic rap battles of history. This is the last one. I'm kind of glad I'm going to be done with at least the presidential ones. There's still some epic rap battles out there floating around I haven't covered yet. If you're interested in seeing those, let me know in the comments down below. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. I just don't like getting into politics. That's just me personally. But I also feel obligated to call out BS when I see it. And so that puts me in an awkward situation doing these. So we're just going to run through it. I'm going to try to enjoy myself and just have a good time. I hope you can do the same. Let's go. It's an interesting beat on this one with the piano.
It's the DJT, getting it on. The Teflon Don on the White House lawn. Against wimps like you, I'll win a third term. Your campaign's like your family, crash and burn. Looting and
Campaigns like your family, crash and burn, because the drug use, I'm guessing.
campaign's like your family, crash and burn. Looting and violence will keep the MAGA movement quiet. Resist me? That's a riot. Why'd you step behind it?
Ooh, okay, all right. So we got some riot bars. We all remember the Summer of Love 2020. It was supposed to be mostly peaceful protests, okay? Mostly peaceful. We're going to pretend like cities weren't burning to the ground. Crash and burn.
Crash and burn. Looting and violence will keep the MAGA movement quiet. Resist me? That's a riot.
So pretty good dig there at the Democrats there at Joe Biden.
Step behind the gym, I'll be standing by. See how tough you are against the 45.
Wasn't there a whole thing where Joe Biden was like, I'll take him back behind the woodshed? Or maybe Trump said it. Honestly, I don't remember. They were talking about like actually fighting each other. I don't remember. It was a wild time, honestly. This was a crazy back and forth. 2020 was different, man. And then we had the the virus and everything too. So
I should have hoped for your whole party. Bigger than the one I blew through cause I'm so money.
Okay, big flex there by Trump. We like that. He's kind of getting in the groove now, getting his dance moves going. We like to see it.
Then I go and bone on Melania. I'm gonna smash you, Joe. Like China. I got all
Smash you, Joe, like China. That didn't even rhyme. Am I crazy?
I blew through cause I'm so money. Then I go and bone on Melania. I'm gonna smash you, Joe. Like China. I got all
Yeah, China does not rhyme there. So that wasn't good for Trump.
I'm gonna smash you, Joe. Like China. I got all
Smash you like China, I guess like a plate, like a fine china smash. I don't know. I have no idea.
the best cognition with all the top grammar.
Okay.
I'm not a little girl's shoulders, so you can't touch this MC stammer.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, all right. One more time.
With all the top grammar.
Okay, Joe Biden's cognition, even back in 2020, was getting called into question. That one kind of played itself out a little bit. Joe Biden's barely even home anymore, so I don't even know if he knows what all's going on around him most of the time.
I'm not a little girl's shoulders,
This
so
is
you
dirty,
can't touch
man.
this MC stammer.
I'm not a little girl's shoulder, so you can't touch this MC stammer? That's a double tap, man. That's a double tap. That's nasty.
Disaster inciting hysteria. You say I'm selling hate in America, you're selling hate in America. Like with Hillary, the
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
girl's shoulders, so you can't touch this MC stammer. You're a disaster inciting hysteria. You say I'm selling hate in America, you're selling hate in America. Like
Instead of selling hate in America, you're selling hate in America. That's a pretty good flip right there.
with Hillary, the people aren't swayed. Just Barack's shadow, and I don't really like the shade.
Oh, okay. All right. We got a double entendre there. Just like Hillary, the people aren't being swayed. So that's a callback to the Hillary-Trump battle. I think when he said something along the lines of, they're just not that into you. What are the American people going to Yankee Doodle do to get it through your fat face? They're just not that into you. That's what it was. So probably a little bit of a callback there. And then he said, you're just Barack's shadow. VP to Barack Obama, and then I don't really like the shade, the double entendre there, saying the shadow, the shade, I don't really like you, and then I don't like the shade that you're throwing my way. So double entendre there. Pretty good pin game. I didn't like the China bar. That was kind of weird, but I feel like they felt like they had to throw China in there somewhere and kind of forced it in. It didn't really rhyme. It was weird. But maybe that's the joke, because Trump always finds a way to put China in there somewhere when he's speaking. So maybe that's the gag. I don't know. But as far as Trump's round go, it was pretty good. There were a lot of really good punches. We'll see what Mr. Biden has.
The pain of losing loved ones is something I have seen.
NicePeter is getting a little too into his I can't remember. He did a character that sounded, it's Stanley and Jim Henson. He sounds like Jim Henson here when he was doing Jim Henson.
Loved ones is something I have seen.
A man can only do so many different voices, though.
So I know how you must have felt when they killed Jeffrey Epstein. Rap lyrics just ain't...
See, and this is what I'm talking about. That doesn't really hit for me. It's pretty obvious Trump and Epstein didn't really have much of a friendship. Like, if they could have... The media hates Trump so much. If they could have made that stick at all, if they could have made that story stick at all, we would still be talking about it. Like, it would be constantly coming up. So, like, that's one of those that's, like, feels like a reach to me, but we'll rock with it. For the bar itself, like, it's funny. It's a good way to open up with a little bit of a zinger. It just doesn't ring true to me. And for me, and I've said this in other Epic Rap Battle reactions, if you want to go back and check those out, if something doesn't have some sort of basis in reality, you can't just say anything you want. Like, that's not what makes a good rap battle. That's not what makes a good verse. That's not what makes a good bar. It needs to be grounded in some form of truth. At the time, they were talking about this a lot, but it never really stuck for me.
Epstein. Rap lyrics just ain't for you. You should stick to love letters for Kim Jong-un. You're a wrestling heel. Nothing.
Stick to love letters for Kim Jong-un. I think didn't Kamala just say that in the debate? Am I crazy? Did she not just say that? Do you think she watched this?
Lyrics just ain't for you. You should stick to love letters for Kim Jong-un.
Somebody in her staff, when she was prepping, had watched this recently and was like, hey, Kamala, you should say something about him writing love letters to Kim Jong-un or, something like that. Like, I guarantee you somebody in her corner had seen this and stole that bit because I'm 98% sure she said that. That's crazy.
A wrestling heel. Nothing about just real, bitch.
Another reference to Trump's wrestling career, brief stint in the WWE. Hillary tried that in the first one to, I think, more success. Biden really should be... Trump was president for 4 years at this point. Why are you not attacking what he did in office? That seems like it would be too easy. Instead, you're bringing up old stuff that Hillary already looked at. So I don't like this verse so far for Biden. There's not much here.
That is for Kim Jong-un. You're a wrestling heel. Nothing about you's real. Bitch, you didn't
Nothing about you's real.
even really write the art of the deal.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, take a stab at the book he wrote. He probably had, rich people are always writing books. It's a very, very common thing. And then somebody else actually does the writing. Super common thing. But good dig at him there. You didn't even write, nothing about you's real. Didn't even write the art of the deal. So that's a good point there for...
Into the rage, red Mad Hatters. Well, let me tell you, Trump, all lives matter. I don't want to
All lives matter. Play on all lives matter. I'm not exactly sure what he's saying here, though. It sounded like they just wanted to get all lives matter. All lives matter. Play on the Black Lives Matter. Like, it sounded like they just wanted something in there for it. What is he saying that he's lying about?
a wrestling heel. Nothing about you's real.
You're a wrestling heel. Nothing about you's real. I guess they're still playing off him being a fake, and in that way flipping the All Lives Matter, which was a response to Black Lives Matter, and then they're flipping All Lives Matter to All Lives Matter, continuing to call him fake, I guess. But he didn't really say that he lied about anything yet, so that's a little iffy for me.
Yeah, but you didn't even really write the art of the deal.
I guess he's saying maybe he lied about writing the book. I guess you could take it that way, so I could see that. You tapped into
the rage, red Mad Hatters. Okay. Well, let me tell you, Trump.
The red hat, obviously, the MAGA hats that everyone wears, the red hats.
But you tapped into the rage, red Mad Hatters. Well, let me tell you, Trump, all lives matter. I don't want to defund no police. I picked a DA for my VP. I'm not a communist.
They did, though. They did. That was very strong with the Democrats back in 2020. Defund the police was a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, it was all right there together. You can't... Like, he used All Lives Matter as, like, an insult to Trump in one verse and then claims he didn't want to defund the police in another. Those two ideas are contradictory because Black Lives Matter was literally, defund the police. That all came about at the same time. So that's kind of a weird way to go.
I picked a DA for my VP.
Reference to Kamala Harris there. I wonder if we're going to get a Harris versus Trump rap battle or not. It sure doesn't seem like it. Nobody's heard anything from the ERB guys in a while, I don't think. Or at least I don't really follow their socials very closely. I mean, I have them on YouTube, but I haven't seen anything yet.
I'm not a communist, I'm not a socialist, I'm just an old ass man with some decency.
Communist, not a communist, not a socialist. Yeah, that's I mean, that's him trying to distance himself from like the Bernie Sanders and that like that and stuff like that, which is what Biden really wanted to do going into this race. He wanted to come off as more of a moderate, someone closer to the middle, so that he could gain some ground on Trump right there with middle America, because we're pretty polarized right now. So that middle ground is very important. So that's a smart play here by Biden.
Man with some decency. No matter what you try to say, global warming ain't cancer. You pulled out a Paris, should have pulled out a Stormy Daniel.
That's pretty funny. That's not bad. That's pretty funny.
Pulled out a Paris.
The Paris Climate Accords.
Should have pulled out a Stormy Daniel.
He said climate change isn't canceled. You pulled out of Paris. So he's talking about Trump's backing away from sort of the global effort to combat climate change.
I ain't sleepy. I'm tired of you, Donald Trump. You're fired.
The only thing getting fired up.
And then he flips Donald Trump's line, "You're fired" line. He had some decent stuff in there. A lot of that verse was really confusing and borderline contradictory to me. I didn't really like Biden's first verse there, which is surprising. I thought that they would come with a lot of heat against Trump here, but there really wasn't much there. Even if you didn't complain about some of the stuff being a little contradictory or not making a whole lot of sense, even if you just took it for face value, there wasn't anything there that you were like, oh man, that was dirty. Like there wasn't a whole lot there at all that you could really get fired up about. Whereas I thought Trump had several in his first verse. So first round definitely to Trump so far.
On my watch is tear gas from law enforcement. I'll keep America great. You'll unleash Antifa and keep America like Portland.
Hang on, let me start this over, because this flow seems weird to me.
You're
The
fired.
only thing getting fired on my watch is tear gas from law enforcement. I'll keep America great. You'll unleash Antifa and keep America like Portland.
Was Portland supposed to rhyme with law enforcement? If so, they didn't slant that enough. That's the kind of thing Eminem can pull off, because the way he enunciates things, they didn't really even try to like slant rhyme that near enough there. I don't know what's going on for Trump's writing as far as like his rhyme scheme goes. It's not been real great.
Keep America like Portland.
But this is also another reference to the riots and the things that were going on at the time in Portland.
Ain't nothing gonna beat me. No person, woman, man, camera, TV. They impeached me. I still walked out of D.C. looking peachy. You got
I don't know what this is a crazy stance for Epic Lloyd to choose right here. This is a wild stance right there. That's a pretty cool little flow. He got into a better flow right there. It sounded better.
person, woman, man, camera, TV. They impeached me. I still walked out of D.C. looking peachy. You got
Yeah, okay, all right. I like that all right. It sounded, again, no real punches thrown. It flowed better.
D.C. looking peachy. You got the sloppy Joe but no beef. The only white privilege I see are those teeth. Maybe teach us.
Come on, man. This is kind of a lame verse, too. Come on. You got the sloppy Joe but no beef. The only white privilege I see is those teeth. Look, it's funny, but it's not that good. So far, Hillary versus Trump was a better rap battle, I think.
Beef. The only white privilege I see are those teeth. Maybe teach your son a thing or two about life. Like there's no hunting season for your dead brother's wife.
Oh! Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh!
I still walked out of D.C. looking peachy. You got the sloppy Joe but no beef. The only white privilege I see are those teeth. Maybe teach your son a thing or two about life. Like there's no hunting season for your dead brother's wife. You and your mask.
He said, I can't get him back on. I can't get him back on. He said, teach your son about life. There's no hunting season for your dead brother's wife. Because Joe Biden's son and his brother's wife, you know what I'm saying? There's no hunting season. They go on hunting trips. There was that whole thing. My brother. My brother.
There's no hunting season for your dead brother's wife. You and your mask.
Okay. I had just said that this one was kind of lame. That was nasty.
Your Knight Rider shades are getting revoked like your Roe versus Wade. There's no blue wave.
That's pretty good. You and your mask and your Knight Rider shades getting revoked like Roe v. Wade. Still touchy subject in this country.
Get revoked like your Roe versus Wade. There's no blue wave. Forget it, not coming. Like I tell criminals, Joe, stop running.
Kind of like what we talked about with Hillary saying that Donald Trump had no chance of winning. This one kind of came back to bite Trump since Joe Biden ended up taking office. So keeping all things fair, that doesn't fall in Trump's favor there.
Criminals, Joe, stop running.
Stop running.
Breonna Taylor running? You dog whistling fool. I think your daddy would finally be proud of you. He was a racist asshole too.
He didn't say it. This is what I'm talking about. What are you talking about, Joe? You're just arbitrarily pulling something that had. Look, this was a huge case at the time, which is fine.
You dog whistling fool.
But he didn't say anything about this. He didn't say anything about whether she was running or not. He's just pulling something out of the hat to call him a racist. We saw this in the last battle, right, with Trump and Hillary. She would just say, "Oh, you're a racist," and then, but there's no substantial point, please, to something he said or did that was racist. Like, why not? If it's so obvious to everyone that he is, put that in the rap battle. Like, have Joe go into a whole verse about showing and proving and telling the things that Trump has done. I would love to see that. That would eat so hard and win him the battle 100%. But instead they do this thing where they just say, it's a fact, he is. And it's, okay, all right, we're just supposed to, okay, sure, maybe.
I think your daddy would finally be proud of you. He was a racist asshole too.
Cool, man.
What's
all right.
this malarkey?
Oh, you
And then we got, okay, all right. Another thing that there's Russia again that didn't really stick.
Racist asshole too. What's this malarkey?
What's this malarkey? I don't understand what's happening here. I mean, I get that they're Russians. Obviously, there's some hacking or something going on here.
Oh, you
I don't know. I can't speak Russian, so I don't know what they said there. Maybe there's a joke in there. You'll have to let me know in the comments.
Keep at it and you'll end up in jail, hoss. I'll take you down like a mule and you're a mailbox.
Still hasn't happened. Trump's still not seen the inside of a prison cell.
Down like a mule and you're a mailbox.
I'll take you down like I'm a mule and you're a mailbox. Mule is the Democrat Party mascot, and you're a mailbox because they did all the mail-in ballots? I have no idea. I legitimately, I don't know. I'll take you down like I'm a mule and you're a mailbox. I'm trying to think of a literal circumstance where a mule ran over a mailbox or something. Was that a popular video on TikTok or something at the time? I have no idea. I don't get this one. I'm going to have some help in the comments on that one.
From all your wives to the SATs, everything you ever did, you just had to cheat. Cause you're too insecure.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know if it's true that Trump ever cheated on the SATs. Again, this is just another one of those things that they throw out there. I have no idea. I've never heard that before, but maybe he did. I don't know. But that is a good bar. Aside from the SATs, talking about his wives, everything that you ever did, you just had to cheat. That's a pretty good punch there from Joe Biden. That's pretty good.
Too insecure to even look like a loser.
I'm still waiting on a haymaker from this guy, though. It seems like it should be a layup. He just did 4 years as United States president, and we're still talking about hey, you're a racist. Hey, you did wrestling once. You're a cheater. Your SATs. Where is the substance, man? You should have so much ammo for this guy after 4 years in office. Where is the substance?
You're too insecure to even look like a loser. You're the worst damn Republican since Herbert Hoover. When you scooped up a sycophantic homophobe loser, became the Constitution's domestic abuser. 200,000 deaths lying at your door. You think they're suckers like McCain in the Marine Corps.
I got that. Yeah. That's a good one. Still, there's still not a knock you off your seat bar here, though. Death's at your door. You can, again, this is revisionist history. More people died from the virus under Biden than under Trump. You can look up the statistics there. So that one doesn't really land well, and it's not like this wasn't happening all over the world. It's weird to try to blame one guy for what happened. Clearly it was a global thing that happened here.
Constitution's domestic abuser.
How? Again, it's how? What did he do? Why did they always do this? What did he do to abuse the Constitution? Can we get like some substance, or you just say it? We just throw in stuff and throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
200,000 deaths lying at your door. You think they're suckers like McCain in the Marine Corps?
That's a reference to when Donald Trump said if John McCain was any good, he wouldn't have got caught, which is a wild thing for anybody to say. But it's something that is brought up a lot. I think it's funny, though, that John McCain was ERB's whipping boy the whole first season. Epic rap battles that had nothing to do with John McCain would throw his name in there and just trash him in the middle of an ERB. But now because they're Democratic leaning, and it used to be that way with Democrats. They hated John McCain for a long time, but now they use him and his family. They love him. They love to use him up against Trump. So any port in a storm, I suppose.
Death lying at your door. You think they're suckers like McCain in the Marine Corps. Sometimes I can't tell for which side your room. When we go high, you go down on poop. Truth is, you're scared to lose. You got nothing in the bank that I owe you. You're white about balance like a bitch. But the only thing that's rigged is taxes for the rich.
Did they give Biden a stutter there intentionally? Also, has Biden been going for a long time, or am I crazy? Maybe it's just because I keep rewinding. I'm sorry. There's just a lot to...
You're white about balance like a bitch.
I mean, we should have voter ID, right? I mean, everyone should be for voter ID, I would think.
You're scared to lose. You got nothing in the bank that I owe you.
Okay, again, bringing up some of Trump's old bankruptcy issues is something Hillary hit on a lot.
You're white about balance.
Why did they give Biden a stutter here? Is that just a call out to Biden's own stutter, or are they making fun of Trump for something he said? Maybe there's a quote I'm forgetting from the time. I don't know.
But the only thing that's rigged is taxes for the rich.
The only thing that's rigged is taxes for the rich. That's a shot at Trump. He's been very adamant. He's been very open, saying that he doesn't. He uses the tax code to his advantage. And that sort of thing, just like any smart businessman would. But that's a pretty smart play there by Biden to bring that up.
Taxes for the rich. You're a freeloader. Change your name to Trump. My campaign driving up. You can't get down a ramp. I'm pulling away fast.
That's, again, a really weird thing for Joe Biden to say to Donald Trump, is that you can't get down a ramp.
Change your name to Trump. My campaign driving up. You can't get down a ramp. I'm pulling away faster than your wife's hand. For the love of democracy, will you shut up, man?
There was the reference to Melania pulling her hand away from Trump. Will you shut up, man, was something that Biden said to Trump during their debate, I think, if I remember.
Will you shut up, man?
I think it's tough to call. I'm about 90% sure Biden got more time in his second verse. Maybe I'm crazy. But to me, Biden said a whole lot of nothing. So much of it was just saying stuff. I don't feel like Biden set up any of his punches well. That's the best way to put it. I don't think he ever set up any punches well. He would say things that on the face sounded like zingers, like really good. Oh, got you there. But then, if you dive into it, he never substantiated any of it. And I think that's the problem. Even the stuff with Trump didn't always set his stuff up and then bring the haymaker down, but the things that he used to punch with were well-known sort of scandals, within the Biden family and stuff like that. And so, those don't need as much of a setup. But when you're just calling someone, a racist for the 500th time, it's something that we've heard so much, or the Russia stuff, I just wish that there was more substance to that stuff other than just being hey, this is you. This is who you are. This is what you do. Got him. I just wish that there was more to it. It's honestly kind of disappointing. So I'm going to go to Trump because I thought that his punches hit harder. And so, Biden never really blew me out of my seat. He had some that I thought, okay, that's a good punch. Yeah, I see what he's coming from there. That makes sense. But they were never oh, wow, that's painful. That hurts, in my opinion. So that's just the way I read it. I'd be interested to hear if you guys thought differently. And there's always the possibility that I missed some important references because it has been 4 years since the debate between those two, or the ones that they're talking about here. And those a lot of those more relevant news stories that were referenced. So let me know in the comments what you thought. If I missed anything, point it out to me. Let me know. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me know if there are any epic rap battles left out there that you'd be interested in me covering, or if there's something else you'd like to see me do on the channel. I appreciate you hanging out with me. This has been One Man's Opinion. Thanks.